Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and I'm your brother John.
This is Qiana.
And this program is I can. And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool. What's good?
Good. So, I'm looking at our tag,
Okay.
On Facebook, right?
Okay.
And you know how they write out everything we say? They spell my name wrong.
Qiana?
Yeah, they spell it Kiana.
They spell it like it sound, maybe.
I don't know, but that's not how it's spelled. But I just saw that, so that's what.
So the captions, when they do captions.
So right here, as we're speaking, it's saying everything that we're saying.
Yeah, the captions. Right.
So
and captions are spelling Qiana incorrectly.
Yes, it is.
Who you talk to about that?
I don't know.
Who's in charge?
Mark.
Okay, Mark is the one who does the captions.
Right.
Thinking?
So yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I mean, this is his app, right?
It is.
So somebody, yeah. So
good morning, Stephanie. I see you.
Morning.
Miss Teresa, thank you for tuning in.
I hope you. I don't know if you back, but it looks like you had a wonderful time in Jamaica, Stephanie.
Yeah, she's been all around the world. It seems like that's so Stephanie doing a thing.
Yes.
Sharonda tagging. I see Renee. You've been tagged. Tweet. You've been tagged. Dot. You've been tagged. All right. This day in history.
Okay.
Let's do some history.
Okay.
August 8th. Today is August 8th. 8/8/22.
Okay.
2 8s, right?
All right.
8 is a thing. It also marks the 220th day in the Gregorian calendar. And on this day in 1899, the refrigerator was patented.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to, I'm sure it was a black man who did the refrigerator. We did all of that stuff.
Clearly.
Maybe didn't get the patent for it, but we the ones that designed it and all of that stuff.
Right.
The United Nations Charter was signed by President Truman in 1945.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1974, President Nixon announced that he would resign on the following day, following the Watergate, I think was the thing that kind of sunk that ship. And then, sound effects. Yeah. We got to get you a button. We need to find a button.
I do sound effects and hand movements.
Yes. Yeah, sunk that ship. Also, I thought you liked this one. August 8th is National Braiders Day.
Oh, and I got, some type of braids in my hair. It's more like a twist.
Okay.
But,
yeah,
a braider had to do it.
A braider did the twist.
Yes.
So check this out. And as National Braiders Day, it's an opportunity for reflection, advocacy, and education, and a celebration of the cultural significance of hair braiding and the professionals that do it. Hair braiding is more than a form of style. It is a culturally significant act with deep roots in many communities. Unfortunately, braiding and braiders are often not treated with the same respect as others in cosmetology fields receive, and are burdened with overbearing regulation. So there was this movement, I want to say in Texas in 1997. There was a braider, Isis Brantley. She was arrested as part of an undercover operation because she was braiding hair without a cosmetology license, even though braiders are not barbers. Brantley ended up fighting the law, and after 10 years of effort, she saw the Texas state legislature pass reforms that exempted hair braiders from the onerous licensing requirements that had no bearing on their work. So today, August 8th, National Braiders Day. And shout out to Isis Brantley in Texas, who fought to have hair braiders be able to braid without a license.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of great braiders, and they make great money too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout out. So when you said 8/8 today, right?
Yep.
22.
Mm-hmm.
If we do that in angel numbers,
okay,
you break 8/8 in half. That's 4, right?
Yeah.
And then you add 2 and 2 together.
You got your
that's 4.
Okay.
So that's 5 4s.
Okay.
So there you go. So if you see the angel number like 444, it usually means, or as Reno would say, your ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what you're dealing with, your gods have your back.
Okay. That's the 4.
That's what
the 5 4s. Huh?
Yeah, or the 3 4s. If you see them 3 4s, 4 4s, or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So that just lets you know that your ancestors, your gods have your back today.
Right.
So there you go.
Okay, so today is that day.
Yes, it is. You brought it up. I thought about it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we're building this thing together.
You hit that ball out.
That's it. That's it. Alley-oop that thing. Alley-oop. And since you said the 4 444. Remember, Jay-Z was 444 was his album.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there's still some conversation being had around Beyonce and Khalees.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So
what's the what?
last week we were asked about it, but we didn't know too much about it.
Correct.
But we just asked our opinion. So Beyonce was not wrong.
Okay. That's the final conclusion.
This is my final conclusion after doing a little research and a little reading on it.
Okay.
If you find something different, call, let us know. But what Beyonce did was, because Khalees did not write the song, nor did she produce it, so she had no rights to it whatsoever.
Yes.
After she stopped touring it, she no longer received any money from it.
Yeah, because she just make money to perform the song.
Right, at this point. Now I don't know if she got percentages on every spin or anything like that, because it's definitely a possibility. But what Beyonce did when she did sample this album, right? She put her in as a writer. So she was giving her a check.
She blessed her.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Khalees goes on this rant. So Beyonce say, well, okay, you don't like my gift? I'll take it back.
That's right. Ungifted.
Took her name off it. God. Put another thing in there. So, like, this is a testament. Like, sometimes, like, you're trying to get your 10 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Hurt you more.
Then, yeah, because you could have got that check.
You would have got that check.
Because having a writer's credit on a Beyonce song is just... Like,
it's gonna go, because this song,
that's a check.
And this made me go listen to the Beyonce album.
Okay.
Right, because I had listened to it. So
wait, it didn't make you go look for Khalees stuff? You didn't go.
It would have, but I've already heard My Milkshake Bring All the Boys to the Yard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that song. But I mean, she's getting exactly what she wanted. She wanted her 15 minutes of fame back. Yeah. And so we're talking about her. And then, like, next week, we're not going to be talking about it anymore. Right. Now, what I do find funny, because she was talking about this women empowerment, and, you know, Beyonce really not about that life. She should have called her. And I really feel the opposite.
Okay.
But if y'all recall, there's a commercial out here. If y'all know what commercial is, let us know.
I think I do. I can.
Right,
I
you can read.
Yeah.
The milkshake brain.
Yeah.
She didn't go on a rant with them
about the commercial.
Commercial that's going around everywhere on everybody's TV. Yeah. So why did this rant start before then?
Yeah.
So again, I go back to, I felt like this was more about publicity than anything else, and then it ended up biting her in her tushy.
Yeah, bite her in the pocketbook. Yeah. So Stephanie said that was a surprise check. And she also says you have to take your emotions and ego out of things. Think. Good morning, Tweet. I see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, how you just, what they said, look the gift horse in the grill, huh?
Yeah. Spite your nose. What it say? Spite your mouth.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying.
That whole
Spite your face to cut off your nose.
Yeah, cut off your nose to smite your face or
there
something
you
like
go.
that.
All right, there you go.
Or you shoot yourself in the head to keep from shooting yourself in the foot or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But y'all get it.
Yeah, you're messed up. You know you're messed up. All right, so yeah, don't be like Khalees. I want to give a shout out to my mentor, to one of my mentors, Imam Askia Muhammad Akil. After 52 years, he actually went back to school and got his degree. So he ended up leaving school 52 years ago, USF, to get involved in activism. And so it was like right around the time when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. And after the assassination of Dr. King, it kind of created the shift really all around the planet. But here locally with Imam Askia and just his activism and what he, decided to do with his life, changed in that moment, and he became like a full-time community activist, left school, and didn't return until 52 years later, which was, recently.
At USF, right?
At USF.
I saw
that. Yeah. And he graduated, so he just completed completed the cycle. So shout out to Imam Askia.
And he's a historian too, correct?
He is.
Right.
He is. He absolutely is. He's just like, I guess we can say that at this point he's a historian, because he has a lot of history, a lot of things that he's documented, done a lot of great work. He used to be the manager over at Jordan Park, the old Jordan Park.
Okay.
The one that everybody reminisce about. He was a property manager there.
Okay.
I think he might have been the first executive director of the Neighborhood Home Solutions, the one that's on 9th. What's that, 9th Street or MLK Street?
Okay.
He was there for a while, and again, my mentor did a lot of great work, a lot of great things that he's done since then. And so I just wanted to recognize and give him a shout out when we talk about Black men working and what's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's my applause.
That's the applause. But we really got to get you some buttons. Qiana Rucker, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Melody Taylor, I appreciate you. Y'all send us some stars. We need some buttons. I got some buttons
I know
in my
you
bag.
got some, but I like my own, like, in my mind, like how it sound. I don't know if it come out like the way I.
Nah, not really.
Not really, but y'all get it.
I get it. We know.
So
what you're
then
doing.
it come out.
So give me your applause again.
It's like everybody cheering, like yeah, you hear.
That was for you, ma'am. That was especially for you.
So the kids are gearing up to go back to school this week.
Yes, and the parents are gearing up to send the kids back to school this week.
Yes,
yeah.
So I hope that everybody took advantage of these giveaways.
Like it was so many, so many opportunities
that we couldn't even talk about all of them because literally, like I told y'all, if you were lacking anything, all you had to do was get in your car and start driving.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't even have any, young
school
children.
Age, yes.
No, not what's up. I rode around and I saw them everywhere. Everywhere. So I hope everybody took advantage
Thank you, Sharonda.
of everything that happened. The Saturday market.
Saturday shop. Story 727 did one.
Right. Consuela and Dally. I just seen them everywhere.
It was like Pinellas Park. I saw stuff all the way up in Largo. It was like really big.
It really was.
Yeah. I saw one was like 500 backpacks. Another one was like 1,000 backpacks. Yeah. It was like uniforms.
Yeah. Lewis Murphy had like 300.
Oh, yeah. Tropical Smoothie.
Yeah. He had like 300 uniforms and something like that.
Yeah.
See, you get it.
I got it. I was with you from the beginning. I never was not with you.
So you know what? I know the parents are probably happy because food is expensive.
Yes. Clothing is expensive. Oh, and it was a part of it was the last weekend for that tax free.
Yesterday was the last day for tax free.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody took advantage of that.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And got their kids what they needed.
Right.
To just get that jump start. And the community really came together and made sure that our children had a great start.
Yes.
So I just hope that like the parents took advantage of it.
Absolutely. And I want to this kind of brings me to a thought that I had about what they call gatekeepers.
Okay, go ahead.
You familiar with that term, gatekeepers in the community, where you have people who are in positions that, they may have either been appointed to, elected to, or worked to position themselves to be in.
Or however they get there.
However they got there. And in order to get things done, sometimes you need to go to those people in order to, liaise and move things around and get stuff happen. I got a call, I want to say about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
From two people in the community who wanted to do something in Child's Park.
And you're kind of like a gatekeeper in Child's Park.
Not really.
Kind of.
I mean, people come to me to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like when people want to do stuff in Child's Park, because for me, a gatekeeper is like you got the keys and you let people in, let them out. Like I'm not that dude. Like if you want to do something, come do it.
No. Yeah. You let them in.
Always.
There you go.
Yeah. I have never been like, nah, y'all can't come in. And
but you're changing the term. Like you're giving it a positive spin.
Thank you very much. I apprate that. Thank you. I absolutely can receive that.
Okay.
I received that. And so they came to me, they asked me about doing an event. We got like, my plate is like really, really full. And so couldn't pull it off. So I want to say last week, they pulled it off.
Okay.
So shout out to Freddie Simmons and Dane and his team, Lakeisha. Like they did an amazing job at doing a backpack giveaway. They partnered with the St. Pete Police. They partnered with the team over at the Child's Park Recreation Center. Shout out to Pola Fowler and all of them over there.
Right.
And they did like a backpack giveaway / scavenger hunt where the children look for. But it was just amazing to me. And I was really happy to see that it still happened, even though like I wasn't a part of it.
Right.
Because that's the goal, right? Like the goal is for like, but if I can't do it, it shouldn't not happen.
Right. But again, like you said, like, okay, so when I think of the gatekeeper, like you didn't put any resistance.
No.
Against you didn't try to stop it because a lot of times the gatekeepers, where you will say they will stop it if they can't physically be there or put their name or
Yeah.
stamp on it,
Yeah.
right? It's because they want the glory
Right.
of what's going on. No, which makes this so dope is
Yeah.
they came to you and you was like, yeah, but I really can't do it. But have at it.
Have at it. Yeah, let's go. Make it happen.
The doors are open
Talk
for
to that
you.
person. Call that
Right.
person.
So
Yeah.
you appointed them to
Yeah.
where they need to go. So when you think of the gatekeepers,
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Because you're appointed because people trust your opinion.
Right.
Right. And so when you tell somebody, I know, like, if I point somebody somewhere because they trust me, they're going to trust the decision that I make or who I appoint at this point. So that is a great example of how gatekeepers should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Open the gate.
Open the gate.
Open the gate. And then you
especially if it's not harming anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good for the whole community.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, like, I'm really seeing, this gatekeeper thing is so annoying.
Thanks, Teresa.
and it's so real. It's just amazing. Thank you for the stars.
Yes, and the upside down smell. I love it.
but just seeing it, right? Because I've had, people who have been upset with me because we were able to get some things done. And it's like, that was a great thing that you did. You should have talked to me about it, though. Like, that's another part of this gatekeeper mindset.
It is. So I've had that happen to me too.
Where it's like you did it and it was great. The only criticism that I have of it is that you didn't come and get permission from me to do it.
So what I find is that people know what they're supposed to do, and when they don't do it and they feel like it makes them look bad, then they want to now, fuss at you. They want to, scold you for making them look bad, for you not doing your job. Like, I mean, honestly, if I'm doing something for the community, it's for the community.
Yes.
Right? A lot of times, and I can speak for both of us, there's a lot of stuff we do that we don't put our names on.
True.
Right? True. I believe that.
I'll stop you there because I'm enjoying that so much more.
Because I always say I'm the epitome of behind the scenes.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that life. Like, because I always, I always recognize and give shout out to the behind the scenes people and like the real work that happens that you don't see. And I benefited from a lot of people like helping me behind the scenes. And I always like make them over and try and show them how much I appreciate them. And lately I've been doing like that, just fall back, like, no, don't put my name on it. No, you don't have to put our logo on it. Let's just get it done. And that feels so much better to me.
I mean, it's twofold. It's twofold to that, right? Because for years, I never people just really didn't know what I did. Now I'm kind of the opposite, and now more people know what I do than normal. And so this is how you write your story.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it does feel good to just get it done.
Yes.
Regardless of how it goes. Yes. But
No, that's right though. I'm looking at some of these comments and I see Miss Teresa. She said some people who are called gatekeepers really don't consider themselves as such. People like you, Brother John Muhammad. Thank you for that. I want to also thank Sharonda for like helping us with these stars and showing people, giving like tutorials in the chat on how to do stars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and read it myself because I don't really know. This is one of them That's So Stephanie things. I want to give a shout out to Steph because after she came and was giving up the game on how to like set this stuff up. So Steph, this was actually some of the stuff that you shared with us on the when she came.
That Wednesday and then that Monday we was monetized.
That Monday we was monetized. Look, we take good advice. We really take advice. So listen, y'all, you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. It's the new 99 Jams morning show right here on 99 Jams, the Berg, WUJM. And it is a community-owned public media resource. And so if you like what you're hearing, you like the work that we're doing in the community, you can support that work by donating to the radio station directly. You can go to 99jamstheberg.com and give a donation and show your support. Or you can do like everybody else is doing. They're doing that in the chat. Send us those stars and let us know that you got some love for the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We definitely appreciate y'all. And you know what?
They've been showing us a lot of love.
Yes.
Y'all been showing us so much love. We got something special for you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
You want to start? So starting this Friday.
Yes.
You'll be seeing us.
Yeah, baby.
So we're expanding
Yeah.
the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Another day.
Another day. So now you can catch us on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yes, and we call it Friday Freestyle Friday,
Right.
y'all.
So we're just gonna kind of freestyle it. We won't have no real format to it.
Yeah.
We
Kind
can
of
talk about whatever.
we got a format kind of, but
Yeah.
not really.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
And this speaks volumes to you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we can't expand unless we have the fan base.
Yes.
And the requests in there. And so the love has been shown. And they're like, yo, we want y'all. And we were like, okay, we give you what you want.
Yeah, you got to give the people. Hey, give the people what they want.
Hey.
I can sing a little bit when I want to.
Go ahead.
Did it sound kind of good?
Yeah, it did. So you know what?
That's all I got.
So most people can sing.
Okay.
But they can't sing.
Okay, got you. I got you.
Okay, so you have to find
I'm a singer.
You have to no.
I'm a singer, not a singer.
Okay, I like it. You can say that.
Headphones
you just gotta find
like
your tone and just kind of stay there and not go
okay
outside of that.
I got you.
So you can hit some clean notes at times.
Okay, all right. With practice. Said the mom of a recording artist, Qiana. Oh man! All right, let's talk about some of this Florida politics.
Okay.
Sip your coffee, take your breath, and let's talk about
good stuff. But overall,
there's some crazy stuff. So DeSantis suspends state attorney who vowed not to enforce Florida's new abortion laws. What the headline reads. This is Tallahassee, Florida. It says Governor Ron DeSantis last week suspended Tampa area elected state attorney who recently became the only prosecutor in Florida to sign a pledge that he would not prosecute people under the state's newly enacted abortion law. The suspension of the 13th Judicial Circuit State Attorney, Andrew Warren, was effective immediately and comes as he not only has taken outspoken stances on Florida's new abortion law, but also has been seen as a rising figure in the Florida Democratic circles. DeSantis said his decision was made because Warren was picking and choosing which laws to enforce. The governor raised Warren's objection to prosecuting people under the newly elected 15-week abortion ban, which does not provide exemptions for rape and incest, as well as Warren signaling that he would support gender-affirming treatments for trans minors, which DeSantis has also condemned. Interesting, because Warren said his suspension spits in the face of voters who elected him twice to serve as Hillsborough County's top prosecutor. It was hailed by some as a political stunt and an illegal overreach that continues the dangerous pattern by Ron DeSantis of using his office to further his own political ambition. The people have a right to elect their own leaders, not to have them dictated by an aspiring presidential candidate.
Okay, so
good morning, Mama Blue.
So this is where it gets sticky, right? Sometimes you talk too much.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then, and so this the Libra in me trying to figure it out, like
okay,
look at both sides,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If I'm your boss, kind of, right? And you tell me you're just not gonna follow the rules, then maybe I would take you from, well, then it's not the job for you, right?
Okay.
But then if I'm the people who elect you, I want you to do what's best for the people.
Right.
Right. So I think Ron is always wrong. And most stuff he does, and a lot, not
most of it, because some stuff he did some
because
stuff, like the financial literacy for kids in school.
And
I'm mind with that.
And
he
I'm
did some
gonna
stuff
tell you this, and I may get some.
Thank you, Juwan.
And I may get some backlash from this because this is the Qiana thing. Like, even with the transgender, with the kids as so young being able to transition, I don't think I totally agree with that. I'm okay with the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I think children are children, and that's such a permanent decision that you make at such a young age.
Yeah.
Again, I stick by this. If kids did not need parents, God wouldn't give them to them. And we also,
true.
At 2, you wanted to be Spider-Man.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And
I
then
remember asking asking my 4-year-old grandson. He was 4 at the time. I said, "What you want to be when you grow up?" He said, "A skeleton."
right, so
Gotcha. Yeah.
and then at 5, you might want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
By the time you graduate high school, you now have done something totally, you found something. And even when you go to college, a lot of college students are still trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
So to make
Yeah.
such a permanent decision at such a young age,
Right.
I'm not against that. The wait is not that bad to make sure that you're doing something so permanent.
Right. Miss Vanessa, thank you for tuning in. No, that's right though. Because
Now
that's
just
a
me.
big decision
That
to
is a
make
big
at a young age.
decision.
And there's certain things that you can't do until you reach certain age. Like you can't drive until you're like 15,
You can't
16.
drink.
Yeah.
And so, but
Yeah.
yet you can change your sexuality before you can even legally get licensed.
Yeah. And then like they talk about brain development and all of that stuff
All that
happens
other
at
stuff. So, and
like 25, 26 years old or something when your brain
right when you
finish.
fully
Yeah.
develop at
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So to make such a permanent decision at such a young age,
Yeah. That's a big one.
that is a big one. And that's a Qiana thing. And again, I'm going to say this. It's not that I don't respect people views and how they want to live their life, because y'all know I'm pro-choice. Do whatever's best for you. But when it comes to our children, we are parents for a reason.
Right. Right. And it seems like with this debate here, this particular debate is over just the position on abortion. I guess is what the premise for this is, because Warren has called the new law unconstitutional on its face. He said because privacy is embedded in Florida's constitution, and the executive order also includes Warren's decision earlier this year to stop prosecuting people riding bikes who are stopped and whose only charges are that they resisted an officer without violence. Because in Tampa they had that whole biking while black debacle,
Right.
where they were arresting. It's exhausting just to say it.
That's what I say. So when you think about all, but then
I gotta say it, but it was exhausting. They was arresting black people
right
at a disproportionate rate for bicycle infractions, right? For not having lights. They were providing tickets to people, and it was like a whole biking while black thing. And so what Andrew Warren said was that he would not be prosecuting people who were riding bikes and were stopped, and their only charges are that they resisted an officer without violence. Because I guess the idea is that if they wouldn't have stopped you while riding your bike, your resisting arrest charge wouldn't be a thing.
Right.
And when we did the Pinellas equity study with Unite Pinellas, Policy Link, and some other ones, that policy, that it was about 2 years ago, I want to say 2019, 2020, when we did the Pinellas equity study. And it talked about how there are disproportionate numbers of people who are arrested and their only charge is resisting arrest. So
without violence.
But like, if I'm being arrested for something, then you would think that the charge would be included in the arrest along with the resisting arrest.
Right.
But the only charge is resisting arrest.
Right.
Something in the milk ain't clean.
Always.
Yeah. And so that's what we would like highlighting and showing. Shout out to Brandy. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Teresa just said that Miss Teresa said it's the parents' decision, not the government decision.
Shay Darius, I see you. Good morning.
I agree. But I will tell so yeah, I'm gonna get off that topic. I'm just gonna get off that topic because I mean, sometimes you ever seen that sometimes parents just want to be their kids' friends and just trying to do everything to kind of make them happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I heard, so this is where I was
at. I want my kids to be happy.
You do, but I want them to make sane decisions too. And this is just me talking. But again, parents, I do think it should be in your household. Yeah. Right? I'm going to stick by that.
Do parents always know what's best?
No.
Okay.
As parents, I think as anybody, we do what we think is best.
Okay.
Right? It's trial and error with everything. But I want to say that most parents, not all, but most parents, when they make decisions for their children, they're doing it what they think the best interest is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like I heard a transgender person. It was a guy that was transitioning to a woman.
So transgender woman.
But he regretted it.
Okay.
He did it at such a young age, and now
Had
there's
surgery and everything.
surgery,
Okay.
got and all this other stuff.
Right.
And then he was like, whoa,
Hmm.
once he got older, and he kind of wished that he did it
Mm.
at that point in time. It's just like when you want to go to a party. I mean, it's not that simple.
Yeah, please.
Please let me say this. Let me say this because I don't want
That's a
nobody.
huge decision. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when your parent, you're pouting about something like that. This is just it holds so much weight
Right.
when you do it, and that's it. But I do,
Yeah, no, no, that's right though. And here's the thing: the other, and I'll move on from this with Elmo after this.
Okay.
And it's really more so about the process, I guess, with the DeSantis suspension of Andrew
He's a
Warren.
bully.
Yeah,
DeSantis is a big bully, and when you look at it, he done he didn't like what Disney did,
yeah,
so he's
just step in and do some crazy stuff.
right.
Right. Here's the thing: Warren has been elected twice,
Mhm.
and was included on a slate of candidates in 2016. Um, let me see, by George Soros, a major national donor. People got problems with him too. I got some issues with him as well. Donor
Okay.
who has become a political boogeyman for Republicans. Warren and former Ninth Judicial Circuit State Attorney Aramis Ayala
Mhm.
were both financially supported by Soros's organization and ran on the platform of criminal justice reform. And they took some controversial positions that were in line with the voters who elected them. And so this is going to get into what we talk about after the break when we start talking about letting voters decide, because this is an elected official. He
Right.
was elected to this office twice by people in Hillsborough County to do the job that he's doing. And the governor doesn't like the position that he's taken. So he's jumping in and arbitrarily deciding that he's going to suspend him. And one of the things that he suspended him for was not something that he did, but something that
He just
that,
said.
that he might do.
Right, because he didn't. So he
'Cause
hasn't
yeah,
went against anything at this point. This is just where he stand.
yeah. I was
Um.
trying to find it because it said the order. Okay, yeah. So it says that was the one about the bikes, and
Mhm.
then it was something in here that he said he was going to do, but he didn't do. Let me
But
see.
this is the thing: is you suspend him right
Mm-hmm.
from his job, take him say. But we see it all the time in our judicial system where they uh put extra mandates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Extra time on people that's not supposed to get. You're not suspending them because they're not following the laws. They're doing it. These judges are putting our black men in prison
Yeah.
and incarcerating them for crimes that, like,
Yeah.
if y'all could see my
Yeah.
face, it's just like
Yeah.
puzzled.
It's
I'm
just
just
like that puzzle face. Yeah.
like, you know what I
Look, they
mean?
can
So,
see it right
yeah,
there.
right.
Just
So,
look.
like, there's
Yeah.
a so again, I don't halfway agree with almost nothing DeSantis do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just like with him, redistricting everything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's
That
the
look
process, but he bucked it and made it harder to get black people elected in certain areas and all of that good stuff.
right. So
That's my
I can,
sound effect. That's exhausting.
so
Yeah.
here we go. Since we're talking,
Yeah.
get out and vote.
Yeah. It really matters. Voting matters.
It
I guess.
really,
Yeah.
really
If
matters.
nothing else, that's the message for this. But here's the thing:
Go ahead.
voting matters. And then when you vote, the person you voted for, the governor came in and said, "Nah, we don't like him. Get him out of there and put somebody else in there."
Right, and that's
That's what's
not
happening. Yeah.
right, but
That's the point, right? Like you can't do that. And the other part, and like I said, after the break, we're going to talk about this push that we're making to let voters decide on rent control, because we're going to talk about that as well.
right.
But it's you have elected officials who have personal positions on things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're saying, like, this is not about your personal position. What we're saying is the community, the city, and residents of the city are seeing that we're in a housing emergency, like a state of emergency, right?
People are moving back home or they're
Yep.
sleeping in their car. They literally can't afford.
Yeah.
I don't care if you can.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that can't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And when you're thinking of the whole, you cannot just think about yourself.
Right. Right. And so we're looking at ways that we can put caps and limits on these rent increases.
Right.
Like,
and not saying you can't get an increase, because we're not we don't want to stop nobody's money.
A lot of friends who are landlords, right?
Right.
A lot of people who, like, a lot of my friends who couldn't, who got out of prison and had hard times, they ended up finding their way in real estate and like own multiple properties. They're builders, developing, doing great work. And so it's not an anti-landlord type situation. It's just saying that you should not be able to raise your rent by $500.
Right, $1,000.
Yeah, $600, $700, $800 in increases, and we need to have some type of cap on rent.
Right.
And voters want to be able to decide that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in order for voters to decide it, the city council of the St. Petersburg, municipality, have to put it on the ballot so that we can do it. And that's what the push is. The push is for city council members to say yes, we'll put it on the ballot. And then when it's on the ballot,
let the people vote.
You vote too. You're a resident of the city as a city council member. Right. So if you don't support rent control, don't vote for it.
And so when I'm out there pushing petitions, I always tell them, you don't have to agree with the petition, but if you believe in democracy, the people should decide.
Yes.
Right.
That's exactly it.
that's because there's going to be
democracy.
Right. Like at this point, there's going to be issues that I'm passionate about, and hopefully it gets on the ballot where we can decide. And there's stuff that I'm not passionate about, but I'm still going to sign to put it on the ballot just because the people should decide. The masses should do it. And if you don't believe in it, rally up your people.
That's it.
Rally it. Go out there and do what you need to do. Get your people behind you, and then shoot it down.
Right.
Don't not put it on the ballot or don't sign it because you don't want it to happen.
Watch this, and then I'm gonna tell you. So what was kind of the rub at city council last week as well was there was an initiative that failed. It was actually on the ballot and it failed, right? And it failed by 87 votes. That was, I want to say, last cycle, and it was failed last year. They voted to put it back on the ballot this year. But they won't put rent control on the ballot. We're going to talk about that. Not that they won't. They're going to vote.
Haven't.
They haven't. And there's a vote coming up this Thursday, and we're asking them to follow through and actually make that happen. But listen, y'all, with radio, we got to pay bills.
Yes.
And we also need y'all to keep sending them stars in. Let us know. Thank you, Sharonda, for the tutorial on how to do it. I appreciate it.
Thank you for everybody that's sending the stars.
And thank you for everybody that's sending the stars. We're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back at 8:07 after hearing some headline news in Democracy Now! You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on
from each other.
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
Present societies says a far more comprehensive agreement is needed.
What we see on the ground is tragic and is unbearable. And while now there is a ceasefire, it's fantastic. The reality is, as we have seen in the past few years, we go into these cycles again and again of violence without addressing the root causes.
The ceasefire, brokered by Egypt, appears to have ended 3 days of hostilities in which more than 40 Palestinians were killed. It was the worst violence for a year. The US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who's in South Africa at the start of a tour of the continent, has spoken of the need for the two countries to work together on global health, climate change and energy. After holding talks with his South African counterpart, Naledi Pandor, Mr. Blinken said both governments needed to speak frankly about issues where they differ.
We bring different perspectives on some issues, and I have to tell you, as a result of our many conversations, you've helped me rethink things and look at things in a different light, and I'm really grateful for that. And it's an ongoing conversation.
Relations have been strained in recent months, with South Africa remaining neutral over the Ukraine war. Thousands of people in Bangladesh have held protests against the soaring cost of fuel. The government has put up the price of petrol and diesel by 50%, blaming Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There have been rallies at fuel stations and protests at student unions. Those taking part want the price rises to be reversed, but the government says it has no choice. A judge in Poland who has accused the government of trying to politicize the courts will not be allowed to return to work after a decision to reinstate him was quashed. 3 days ago, Igor Tuleya was told he could resume his duties after being suspended in 2020. This report from our Warsaw correspondent, Adam Easton.
Judge Tuleya is perhaps the most prominent public face of the dispute between Poland and the EU over the rule of law. Brussels and the 51-year-old judge say the sweeping changes to Poland's judiciary in recent years were designed to increase the governing camp's control over the courts. The government denies this. However, in June, Warsaw agreed with Brussels that it would reinstate judges like Mr. Tuleya to unlock $36 billion of badly needed EU funds. Continuing to stop him from returning to work could seriously jeopardize.
Because of its reliance on high-tech components made in the West.
So that was World News on the BBC.
And we're back.
Yes, we back, baby. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
And this is Qiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. CDAT.
CDAT.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool.
Yes.
Continuing the conversation.
Yes.
It's so much happening in the world today, man. How y'all keeping y'all sanity? Tell me what y'all doing. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you're doing in a word or two, man, to just stay sane, because there's so many things out here that can just drive you insane, have you losing your mind, and just
so y'all already know I'm a water baby.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So we went to the pool. I took my niece
and
my nephew. And we just kind of hung out at the pool. So funny.
Okay.
My niece is 4, right?
Okay.
Only person she really loves is her daddy and her brother.
Okay.
She messed with her mama.
All right.
But she love. And she mean no, really, she only love her daddy.
Okay.
Let's be one.
I got you.
Really. So I'm in the pool and I tell Giselle, like, Giselle, save me, please. Now she done save KJ.
Okay.
She looked at me and told me she was busy.
This is one of them save yourself moments, right? Do for self or suffer the consequences. Type deal.
She really looked at me. She was like, I'm busy.
Okay, got you. So let's keep pulling the string on this Florida politics, right? There was a poll that came out. Charlie Crist is maintaining a lead over Nikki Fried in the Democratic primary. Mm-hmm. His advantage over Nikki Fried looks more unsurmountable among those who've already voted. Because early voting is happening right now. You can actually send in your mail ballots. Mail ballots have been sent out. And so please, if you have a mail ballot, turn it in.
Yes.
But Charlie Crist is maintaining a lead over Nikki Fried, weeks ahead of the Democratic primary for governor, according to a new poll. Almost 56% of likely Democratic primary voters said they intend to support Charlie Crist in the race, compared to just 24% for Nikki Fried, according to the survey. Less than 20% of voters remain on the fence, but if results hold true, Fried must not only win over those who are on the fence, but also convince a number of Crist's voters to change their minds before the August 23rd primary. The window to do that appears to be closing fast. Results further show that Crist is holding a greater level of support among those who already cast their mail-in ballots. More than 64% of people who responded to this survey said that they had already cast their vote for Crist, while 25% said they had voted for Nikki Fried.
I can see that.
Okay.
I can see it.
Talk to me.
I mean, Chris is from here, right? Mm-hmm. So we see. I haven't. Do you see any Nikki Fried?
I saw Nikki Fried early on.
Do you see any now?
I don't see any now, but maybe we're not the target. You know how they do that, right? It's stuff that they may be sending it to other places.
Well, we do know.
I did see the face.
Only because we know how important Pinellas County all the way to Orange County is.
Yeah, the I-4 corridor is big for elections. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not in it?
Yeah, love Tiffany. Thank you for watching. Yeah, you're right. Kia says she up, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, I'm not seeing Nikki Fried stuff. I think what did I see? I saw like a housing program that she put out, like basically supporting a lot of the things that we're supporting.
Right. And
then that came out, but that was early. That was like real early on.
Right. So I mean, I really
early meaning like February, March or something like that, earlier in the year. Before the campaign season really got as heated as it is right now.
Right.
But Charlie Crist and Ron DeSantis, that looked like that's probably going to be the ticket for November.
And I mean,
how you feel about that one?
I think that's probably, if I was looking at it, that's probably the best run up. Like, you know what I mean? The best matchup.
You think Charlie Chris got a chance?
I do.
Okay. You got to have faith.
I think he has. I think he has a better chance than Nikki.
I think he has a better chance than Nikki, but I think that, I mean, I hate to be the wet blanket and the, but I think DeSantis, like, it's really going to take the Democratic Party and those who are supporting.
Y'all didn't see the eye rolling in either.
We need a button for eye rolling too, but
yeah.
But like the Democratic Party just got to get it together, man.
So I'm gonna say Qiana experience for working with the Democratic Party.
Okay.
When I worked with the Democratic Party, per se, I was disappointed. Okay. Being a Democrat.
Okay.
So I'll just leave that there.
Okay. that's a spot to leave it.
Yeah,
I'm saying this, and so there's I follow her. I think
there's work to be done.
It's work to be done. It's the sister I follow. I forget her name. I think it's I'm Legally Hype. I follow her on Instagram, and she does these okay so boom, you know, and then she'll give like this thing. Y'all probably saw on Instagram. I'm Legally Hype. She's like a paralegal law student, you know, about to be a lawyer, and she gives these like clips on, you know, what's happening politically. And she said something that really, like, I was thinking, but she just put it into words. And she was talking about how the Republican Party, the GOP, like they on their stuff, right? Like you see them like fighting the cultural war. You see them like sending out text messages. They doing the blast. But then with the Democratic Party, like I'm not really seeing a whole lot of like targeted voter outreach. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a super voter and they don't feel like they need to target me, but it's just looking kind of crazy right now. You know, I'm not really hearing a whole lot from the candidate. I mean, I see Charlie Crist stuff now. I see some Val Demings ads.
So, you know, so when you're looking at the primaries, right? The Democratic or the Republican Party typically can't get behind any candidate until they make it to the general.
Okay.
So you're not gonna,
yeah.
So what happens is they will support everybody, but they don't co-sign anyone until
after the primary.
Okay. Because they don't, you know, they can't pick sides at that point because everybody is a part of the party.
I got you. So okay, thank you for that. That's helpful because the logic is like right now the campaign ads that we're seeing are coming either from the PACs or the candidates themselves.
It does,
and not from the party.
Not from the
because
party.
It was still in the primary. But after the primary, then the party will be behind the candidate.
So when I was with Andrew Gillum, right, when we first started, there was a team of like 75 of us that did this for him. Right?
I feel real good just thinking about that because they didn't give him a chance. And when you say you was working, and I remember that, like you was like the point person on that campaign,
right? I did,
and nobody gave him a shot.
Right, and then they didn't. He was the underdog. Nobody thought that he had a chance.
Yeah.
So then, when he won the primary, then the Democratic Party came in. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, what I did see, what the Democratic Party did is what I did love about Andrew's campaign. When we did it, it was organic and it was grassroots for real, and we were really creative on getting his platform out there, right? Yeah. And then the Democrats.
That was a fun time.
It was. Like I enjoyed it.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. Like I've done electoral cycles, but that was like the most enjoyable and fun of those campaigns.
So okay, well I'll finish that. I'll call her.
So we don't have to call her on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know this King Jab. What's going on?
What's good, King Jab?
Hey, King Jab.
The voice of the people.
I can finish my comment then because it's Jab. It's Jab. But then when he won the primaries and the general election came in, the Democratic Party completely switched everything that we were doing at that point.
Okay.
So in
a good way?
No, a bad way.
Okay.
So in my opinion.
Okay. So the strategy, the tactics, the stuff that worked to get him through.
They completely
don't do that no more.
No, they did it, and then they went back to the same old, which we haven't won any elections doing the same old.
And lost that election as well.
end up losing that. And so at that point, it was Senator Bill Nelson that was running for senator.
Yep.
And then Bill and Andrew was the top candidates at this point. The Democratic Party wanted us to push Bill over Andrew. And I felt like that was a problem because the people that was voting for Bill necessarily wouldn't vote for Andrew, but everybody that voted for Andrew was gonna vote for Bill.
Yeah. And we saw that. Like, if all of the people who voted for Bill would have voted for Andrew, he would have won.
He would have won. And if we would have pushed Andrew, like typically you do, because the governor is where we're trying to make sure governing our state. And they would have tied them up like that and not the other flipped it, then we might have had a different outcome. And that's Qiana's opinion.
And there was some questions about voter fraud and stealing too, because it was like 20,000 votes, and I think they might have stole that one too. But King Jab, the voice of the people.
I think so too.
What's going on, boss man? How you feeling this morning, sir?
Hey, man, I'm just gonna pick up exactly where Qiana left off, man. Like, as a voter, I don't think I could vote Republican, but the Democratic Party has just completely disappointed me.
Yes, sir.
From local all the way to the White House. And it's like it's election time again, and it's coming around. You're coming around and asking for our votes, and I'm really taking a stand. Okay, what you did with it last time?
Right.
And for real, that's that. Not because I know you, not because your face is regular, not because you a continuous runner. No, what you did with the vote last time.
That's true.
And even with us, bro, like we gotta take these ballots, man. I'm gonna probably do it Thursday, and I would love for y'all to do it. Bust these ballots open, man. Let's go over these ballots with the people, man.
Okay, yes,
Let
sir.
them know about the amendments and everything that's going on. That was a request that I got from one of my people.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? That's real. And also, I'm kind of disappointed in us, bro, because we're not holding a candidate forum.
Yes, sir. Well, we still got time. But we still got time.
Yeah, I'm ready to push for five.
Yeah.
I'm ready to push for five under some of these people asking for our votes, man. Like, we finna start accountability right now.
That's right.
With this vote.
That's right.
And
for real. We're gonna stop playing with these people.
Real
and
talk.
I can't speak for anybody else, but I can always speak for myself. Is that I vote on policies, right? Not that I would say this: nobody's ever a true. Most people, let me not say that. Most people find good in both parties.
Yeah.
You can find some stuff that you can relate to over here. There's stuff that you can relate to over there. So there's things that I would definitely vote Democratic across, when I go. And then there's some stuff that the Republicans have pushed that I think are good. And I vote that way too.
Yeah, that's what Tony Wells said. So, Jab, what you said, I'm gonna let you jump with this one, but I like what you said. We got to do a forum, and let's bring my mail-in ballots. I got my mail-in ballot, so I bring my ballot on Wednesday. I tell you what, you do Thursday, we'll do Friday, because we got Freestyle Friday. We can go over the ballots on Friday.
Oh yeah, we can.
Cool.
We'll do that.
That's what it is, bro. I'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
We got a mail-in ballot at the house too. So
Yeah. No, that's a great idea, and I really think that's something that's needed and necessary. But just thinking about these primary elections, and how the candidates are situated, because like August 23rd is school board as well. And so when we look at August 23rd, we got school board election, you got the primaries, and you have to be registered for one of the parties, right? In order to be to vote in the primary.
To vote, so school board, like Caprice, is nonpartisan. So anything that's nonpartisan, if you're independent, I believe that you get a mail-in ballot for it, right?
Correct.
Because when Cheyenne registered, she did independent at that point. Most of the younger people do. And so when I looked at her mail-in ballot, like she had all the nonpartisan stuff on there. She didn't have Charlie Chris or anything that was party affiliate.
Okay, gotcha. And then UB said Chris used to be a Republican, so he has a good chance. And then Tony Wells, shout out to Tony Wells, man. I appreciate all that you're doing. He said low information voters, also known as misinformation voters, are people who may vote yet are generally poorly informed about the issue. The phrase is mainly used in the United States and has become popular since the mid-1990s. Misinformation or low information voters. That's when people going out and voting against your own interest.
Well, this is what happened. You just listened to a 30-second ad.
Yeah. Or the party, because that whole party line, the party people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that whole vote blue, no matter who campaign. I had a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm different though, I guess. I just got a problem with a lot of this stuff because it's like you said, I can see good in policy, regardless to who presents the policy.
Right.
And that's what it's about. At the end of the day, it's about the policy and the issues. Because think about it this way: if it was a Republican legislator who said we're going to write up a bill to give reparations to Black people, you're not going to vote for it because it was a Republican who presented it.
And it was a good bill, and you looked at it and read it and be like, oh yeah, this is really for us.
Yeah. You got people that's like purists though, and really toe the line for the party.
I mean,
and they'll throw the baby out with the bathwater.
They surely will.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean, and that's your choice.
Yeah. Look, it's your choice. You want to just throw the baby out with the bathwater, go right ahead. But there are some new voter laws, and I think we need to get, we had somebody lined up to come in and talk about it, the voter registration laws. But the new voter identification requirements are in effect for the first time this year as well, y'all. So make sure you pay attention. They're doing things like this to make it harder for us to vote, especially those who vote by mail.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to get us to abandon the process. And when we do, they win. So here's the gag. We need to understand the laws and understand and make sure that we're in compliance, especially if non-compliance will lead to disenfranchisement.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Senate Bill 90, which went into effect last May, it says those who request an absentee ballot must provide either the last 4 digits of your social security number, your driver's license number, or state identification card in order to be current and eligible to vote by mail. So make sure that you have that information when you are requesting a mail ballot, but you don't need that information to vote in person.
I'm going to tell you this, voter fraud.
Okay.
It rarely exists when somebody is voting more than once.
Yeah.
Like that, people.
It's hard enough to get somebody to vote one time.
Ain't nobody sitting over here just like,
oh, I want to vote so bad I'm gonna do it twice and risk going to prison for 5 years.
No, it's
said
more,
no one ever, right?
Right.
Except for them January 6th people. Caller, what's on your mind? What's your name? You're on there.
I just want to say that Miss Qiana made a point about if you how your ballot come out, if you don't choose a party, they do make you can't vote on certain things because you didn't choose a party. So anybody who choose to be independent, just know that certain things you can't vote on because you didn't choose a side. So if you don't choose Democrat or you don't choose Republican, you can't vote on certain things till you get to a certain level.
Right.
Right. For the primary, you can't vote. But once it goes through the primary, then the general, everybody can vote.
Everybody can vote on the general, but to get there, what's the point if you ain't get to pick who got there?
Right. There you have it. What's your name, Colin?
Oh, this is Yubi, man. She made that point. I had done that before, and I realized that my ballot, I wasn't allowed. I'm like, well, why can't I vote on it? They explained to me, no, you can't vote until it gets to here.
Okay, gotcha.
And a lot of people don't know that when they change theirs to independent.
Right. Now, I appreciate you calling. Thank you, Yubi, and thank you for your support, Yubi. I see you consistently supporting the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Always watching, always tuned in. So it's really good to hear your voice, and I just want to let you know we appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I like to stay behind the scenes, then behind the scenes with a lot of things.
No doubt. You make it a great one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 23rd is coming. It's approaching very fast.
Like 2 weeks.
Right. So very, very fast. The school boards, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So just make sure you're out there because we got some decisions to make in our community because we also have Michelle Rayner, right?
Michelle Rayner's running.
And against Wingate Newton, which is going to be a tough race, I think. You know, it's going to be a toss-up.
Yeah.
So there we got Val
Demings and Marco Rubio's race.
Right. And I mean, honestly, I want Marco Rubio out.
Yeah.
This is a Qiana thing. The views that's expressed is not 99.1 gems. I feel like I'm always like doing blanket statements.
So you got to qualify these things, right? No, that's what it is. All right, so some of this entertainment and hip hop stuff. So,
Chris Brown concert this weekend.
It's coming up.
The 13th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Ahead. Okay.
I did know that.
I think the concert sold out.
Okay. Is that here?
Yes.
At what, Emily?
Yes.
Okay.
At the amphitheater. outside the fairgrounds.
Okay, gotcha. I got you.
Fairgrounds.
And they said he was doing like a lot of money for meet and greets, and people was like
$1,000
for a meet and greet, and he was like taking some real cool pictures with people for the stat.
I mean, if you gotta get it.
Yeah, get it. All right, so in Tampa, aspiring rapper Rolly Bands was reportedly shot and killed over this was a couple weeks ago.
We talked about this, right? A little bit.
I think I might have missed that one.
Yeah, you wasn't here.
Okay, I missed it, but it's interesting. It said he challenged his enemies to meet him at his apartment. The shooting took place 5 minutes after Rolly Bands posted to his Instagram story. A lot of these ninjas, that's know where I live at. For real, I sleep in peace. If a ninja won't smoke, I'm at my crib in 5 minutes. Hillsborough County deputies received a report of a man shot in the parking lot of the apartment complex after the suspects had already fled the scene. They said the victim was rushed to a local hospital but died from his injuries. Investigators believe the victim knew the suspects. Social media has led to numerous murders over the years. In 2020, Pop Smoke accidentally revealed his address of his rental in the Hollywood Hills via Instagram and was later victim of a home invasion, which resulted in his death. And this is something that I'm seeing.
I'm going to say this is nothing cool about dying.
At all.
Okay.
And inviting people to come kill you is not cool either.
Because, I mean, one thing we can't stop is death, right? Like we don't want to premature bring it.
Yeah. What's wrong with dying of old age?
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
But inviting them to, come to his house, pull up, and they pulled up to his house.
So I'm going to sound old, or I mean, maybe not old, but words have power.
Yeah.
And you need to watch what you say.
Yeah.
Like, why invite the devil to your doorstep when you don't have to?
Yeah.
Like, you want to do this street cred. Like, no, street cred is that you can still raise your children.
Absolutely.
You can still provide for your family.
Yeah. And we had a conversation with a couple of youth. It was almost like a two youth focus group, but it was like an in-depth conversation that I had with a couple of kids from a neighborhood. And they were talking about the impact that social media has on like the violence that we're seeing, because I'm trying to figure out, I'm always interested, right? So I'm just asking them what's going on, what's popping. And they just started telling me like how a lot of this beef that they have is, social media beef. It's not really rooted in anything other than a dare or a social media call out, but like they don't have real problems with each other. You understand what I'm saying?
So I want to say it sounds stupid.
It does, but it's culture, and it's a part of the culture that they've created for themselves now. Where it's like, again, we did stuff that sounded stupid to the adults that were around us, right? Like stuff that we did. I won't name the things that we did, but it sounded stupid. And even when I look back on it, it was kind of stupid. But for them, the things that sound stupid is costing them their lives now, because they're doing these things on social media and a public platform. And then they have access. This is the other part of it. Like they're getting guns and they have access to guns. So in the same meeting that we were having, we had the police come in and they gave a report, and they were talking about how the amount of guns that were taken from unlocked vehicles. And so transitioning out of that conversation about guns being taken out of unlocked vehicles, sitting next to them were youth who were saying, yeah, there's people out here that got guns and they getting them from unlocked vehicles. And now they're on social media with these guns and they saying like, whoever wants smoke, pull up. And there's people who pulling up with, and they like just having these OK Corral type incidences for nothing other than to prove that they'll do it to their social media fan base.
This is go back to like earlier statement. These are the people that still cannot make sane decisions about that's going to change their lives.
Yeah.
Like if you are letting social media dictate your life and start a beef that you have no problem with, and then we're okay with these same people making decisions that's going to permanently change their lives, then we need to look at it.
Yeah, that's true. And then on the Snapchat is the space. That's where it's at, because I don't see it.
Oh, and timeline. Snapchat is because they think that's a safe space, because once you send the message, once you look at it, it disappears.
Okay.
So Snapchat. Okay. So that's the one that. But
so that's why they use Snapchat, because it's not. Like
but let me tell you, it's always there.
Yes.
The police can go back and find the history of the Snapchat. You may not.
Yeah. Aaron, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna say this: you may not,
Mm-hmm.
but the police can.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
even though it disappears out of your database,
right,
it's in Snapchat database.
Snapchat database. That's right.
Just FYI.
That's right. It's always a record. It's and it can
Always.
always be found. So that delete don't always mean delete. So just know
It's
that.
just me hidden.
Yeah, but but what I would like to do is continue to have these conversations with some young adults and teenagers,
Right,
to really like workshop this thing and see what can be done about it.
I really want to do something with like conflict resolution.
Yeah.
To teach the youth how to properly handle conflict without it being so deadly.
Yeah, that's a part of it, right? And that's the other thing that I'm seeing. Like you have, like, even with this meeting that we were in, we had people who wanted, we had young people, I mean, like teenagers. This is, I think it was maybe 14 to 18. We had some 14, 15, and 16-year-olds who wanted to participate. But then when their friends came around, friends, I use that in quotes because I'm thinking about what my daddy said about friends. When their friends came around,
they backed
their
up.
whole persona changed.
Right.
Not only did they back out, but their whole way of showing up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they just put on this
like
whole
when they were comfortable and like giving ideas, then they had to be hard. Like
they had to be like
it's like no.
And then now they
that
cracking
ain't
on.
Cool.
Yeah,
that ain't cool.
But like
look
before
at you with the little hat on.
Yeah.
And when he was like embracing the person with the hat on at that point, kind of.
Yeah. It was interesting to see the influence that they have, and the other part of it too is like trying to identify a leader. Right, because that's it's kind of old school organizing tactic, and just from growing up, like it's you find the baddest one, you get that one, you know that
everybody will follow.
But
you
that's
find
the thing.
head, the tail follows.
But that's the thing, like it's ideas and concepts that they're following. It's not necessarily individuals, and so I mean that's just kind of the early non-scientific conclusion.
Ever seen like
you know
people that people. There's natural leaders in groups, right? And some people don't know that they're a natural leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they're hanging out with people because they think they're cool, but them people are hanging out with you because they think you're cool.
Yeah.
And then it's like the blind leading the blind because neither one of the leaders have stepped up.
Yeah, to really lead.
Right.
Right. Like everybody's following. That's a great way of saying it, because that's what I'm seeing. It's like everybody's just kind of going along and following along what they think is the thing that's cool. And that's what the New Image Project is about. That's why we doing this, and that's why we on the radio, and that's why we putting these things out, is to be able to redefine what's cool. It's like, you know what, it's actually, that ain't cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is what's cool, and being able to take ownership of it.
I don't know if any of the youth are listening because y'all still are not at school right now. But
it's early for they'll catch the replay.
But there's nothing cooler about becoming an adult. Like, you think you enjoyed being a child?
Ooh.
Listen, I mean, and childhood was good. Like, but when you have the freedom of becoming an adult and then seeing more years, you start to appreciate so much, and you're allowed to do so much more.
That's true.
Like, you just don't even understand how great it is to look back and be like, oh, I made it here.
Yeah.
I get to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the other part of that too, Qiana, is the decisions that you make as a youth influence the quality of life that you have as an adult.
Right.
It sounds so simple.
It does,
but it's a lot that goes into it when you waking up every day in this world as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and you walk outside of your door and you in all of these challenges that you face. And so I understand and I get it. But I just want to encourage any youth that may be listening, or if your mama like got you in the back seat saying, see, that's what I be talking about. Listen, because she know what she's talking about. The decisions that you make right now will impact the quality of life that you have as an adult. And that's the goal. You can't wait to grow up. But you're doing stuff now that's gonna make it harder for you when you grow up.
Now I'm not gonna tell you. Now I'm gonna say this is that be a child as long as you can.
Yeah.
Right. Because the stupidest thing we ever said is, I can't wait to
grow up. Yeah.
And so there's two phones over there, because now you do have bills that never stop. Right?
Yeah.
So you have responsibilities
recurring, right?
Right. But with that, you have a different type of freedom. So like, I see people, if your high school years is your highlight of your life, then you're not living.
Oh man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That is true. Like what you did yesterday, if that's all you riding on, you might be in trouble. So yeah, again, we want to remind you that you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Jams the Bird, WUJM, and we appreciate y'all. So if you missed the earlier part of the broadcast, you can catch the replay by going to facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We also invite you to listen online, and this is going to be big on Fridays, 99jamsthebird.com, because when we do Fridays and do Freestyle Friday, they may cut us off because we're going to be playing music. We're going to be funking out, riding out, like really enjoying ourselves on Friday.
Facebook will snatch us.
They will snatch us. And they slick with it, right? Yeah. So they'll snatch us, but it looked like we still up.
Right.
So when I'm looking at it, it looked like we still on, but they've blocked us in like 254 countries.
And we can tell because like y'all just disappear. Like it'd be like two of y'all.
Yeah. So to avoid that from happening, we're encouraging you on Fridays when you log in, have 99jamsthebird.com queued up so you can actually hear us when we do start playing the music. You can also download the TuneIn radio app, WUJM, 99 Jams, and lock that in. And if you'd like to donate today, you can do so. You can send us some stars. Go ahead and do that right away. Mm-hmm. You can also advertise your business and sponsor a show by going to 99jamsthebird.com. And like I said, y'all, we appreciate your
like and share this page. Like we definitely appreciate it. Do we have an Ask Qiana?
We do.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. See, we need music. We need sound effects.
Dun dun dun. Okay.
That's the intro to Ask Qiana.
Well, today it was. Tomorrow might be something else.
So Ask Qiana. So today's topic, when we talk about Ask Qiana, y'all know we deal with all types of subjects, all types of things. And this one is work related.
Okay.
So dear Qiana, I have worked for the same company for 20 years.
Quit. Okay, no,
thank you very much. Have a great day. Right? And now on to headline news. Right? So I worked for the same company for 20 years. For the last 8 years, I was a part of the office book club, mostly because I was pressured regularly by the boss to participate. The members were mostly a clique of mean girls. I've never felt a part of it or comfortable, but I pushed through the once a month meetings to keep the peace. When COVID sent everyone home to work for the past 2 years, the book club was over, or so I thought, hoped, and prayed. As things are loosening up now, though, the pressure is mounting. As things are loosening up, the pressure is mounting again. I do not want to return to that routine, but the powers that be don't seem to accept my excuse or reason. After 24 months of freedom, forcing me back into this is causing great anxiety. What would you advise me to say or do to be left out of the book club without antagonizing the boss?
My schedule no longer can be accommodated for the book club. Like this is you're not. So you're missing. There's always missing pieces, right? Are you getting paid for this book club? Probably not.
Yeah.
And so you have other obligations. Unfortunately, you cannot obligate your time for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just simple. And your boss can keep on asking you. You did it for 2 years. You know, you already did it for the time you're out. Don't get back in.
Right.
That's like really. This is a grown-up decision that you have to make.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you've been on your job for 20 years. And you've been in the book club for 8 years, 8 of those 20, and you've been miserable. You probably about 40 something, right?
Yeah, or older.
Yeah, you.
This is when you you put your big girl panties on, as they would say, right? Yeah. And you just stand on what you say, like.
Yeah.
This is just no.
Yeah, no means no. I'm not coming to the book club.
And I understand, like, you don't want to hurt anybody because some people avoid confrontation.
Yeah,
and then they know, people study people.
Yep.
Right, and know personalities. They know who they can push to get things that they want to get done. They know your strengths and all of that other stuff. Right. And your boss do know that you 9 times out of 10 is not going to tell her no. But you have the right to change your views and your stance.
That's true.
The person that you was yesterday don't mean that you are that same person today.
Right.
So it's okay to tell them it just I can't accommodate that schedule. Like I'm too busy at this time.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they can keep on asking. Nope, sorry, no free time yet.
Yeah, not available. Yeah,
not available.
Yeah,
no. And yeah, a good way to do this. Not right now, maybe later. Because you have the right. Because you might change your mind and want to get back in the book club.
Possibly.
But right now, I don't have the time. I'm sorry. Because this is your free time.
Right. Right.
You don't have to do it.
Yeah, you're not under an obligation to participate in the book club. And this is the other part of like you get to a certain point in your life where it's not that I'm too busy. It's just like, I don't want to be in your book club.
Right.
Like, can I just tell you that?
You can, but see, it sounds like she don't like confrontation.
Okay, but that's ain't nothing to be
because
confronted
she
about. It's just like, look.
And I don't think she would be that
Thank
direct.
you, Miss Boss Lady. But
no.
the book club, you know what? I'm kind of
You
done
can
with
tell
the book
I
club.
don't even like reading books.
Yeah. Now since we talking about this book club, let me tell you how I really feel about the book. It don't have to be that, because but here's the thing, like what I'm learning with people, right? What I've seen with people is we do extremes. So you go from like you're feeling forced and getting your arm twisted and submitting to go into the book club. You skip the middle point of just saying I don't want to do it, to not like going off and like having all of the stuff that you hate about the book club.
You know why that is because you held all that frustration in all this time.
Yeah.
And so then something, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
Then it opens up like the floodgates and you have no control over it because you're so aggravated. And this is why communication is key.
Yeah.
Right.
On a regular and consistent basis.
So that you can let this stuff out. So it doesn't blow up and then it pop
right
in your face. So like that's why it's either one way to the extreme with a lot of people because they holding it in.
Yeah. So you blowing the balloon all the way up on this side.
It pop. And when it pop, it
just make a mess and it get all over everything.
So at this point, you have options.
Yeah.
You can be direct and say, no, that's not for me.
Right.
I don't want to do it. Thanks, but no thanks.
True.
Or you can say it in another way. You, like I said before, you can be like, I don't have time in my schedule, which is like a passive aggressive, a passive way, not being so direct. Or you can be like, I don't like reading.
I really just don't like being a part of the book club, so I think I'm going to remove myself from it.
Because you have, so.
That's totally okay, y'all.
It is very okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, she can't fire you for it.
Yeah, I'm with Sharonda. Sharonda, you can't fire me for not being in the book club. Sharonda says, I'm trying to find it here. Sharonda, what you say? Just let them know you don't want to participate and let it be.
Yeah.
Because it's your decision and your time, and that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
It really seems simple. But it can be complicated.
It can be complicated, especially when you're in a work setting and there's hostile work.
Yeah, then you got like what they call them microaggressions and all of that stuff.
People
that I learned
are very passive aggressive. Like you get it a lot of times in work scenarios.
That's true. All right, so I want to go back to this. And then we will probably end up ending.
Yeah, we got to end. Yeah, because we got
to make space for Sister Hughes, Sister Sierra. I want to shout out Sister Sierra. Joyful morning, joyful everything, beautiful beings. I love that. And I feel the energy that comes across. She was speaking at City Council on Thursday. And I think it might have been the first time. So Sierra, was it your first time speaking? Just put it in the chat if it was. But I think you did a wonderful job. She came into City Hall and just, we were there and we were inviting people to come and support us in the push towards letting voters decide on rent control. And Sierra came. Talk about that? We did a little bit, but I wanted to end with this because this Thursday is going to be a big vote, y'all. Actually, this week is going to be big. So on Wednesday, there's a couple things happening. So we're doing a voting rights town hall that's going to be virtual. It's via Zoom, and I'll put the link out. We're still doing the Black Men Rise and Black Men Working. And so we're targeting Black men and having a conversation about voting rights, but all are welcome. We're not discriminating. We'll put out the link for the Zoom. That'll be on Wednesday. And then Thursday at 1:30 p.m., City Hall will be voting on whether or not to let voters decide on rent control. So we're asking you all to come down, send your email, send in your support, and let City Council members know that it's up to us. It's up to us. It's up to us. And we want to use our voice, use our vote to do something about this rent gouging that's going on in the community. We can do that. City Council can't legally impose controls on rent. They can't cap rent. City Council can't do that. But we as voters can do it. But the thing of it is City Council has to put it on the ballot, so we the voters can do it.
If we're not heard,
yes,
on Thursday,
yes,
you really need to rethink the people that we put in there that's supposed to look at our best interest.
Yes, those who are supposed to be representing us,
right?
Because what we're asking those who represent us to do
allow us to make the decision.
Yes.
That's all. We're not telling them to make the decision. We're asking them to allow us to make the decision.
Yeah.
So if they don't allow us to make a decision, then us need to sit back
and look at her like, yeah, we're gonna check for you next time around,
right?
Because some of them will be elected, up for election in the next year or so,
right?
And again, they showed that it's possible, right? Because there was a referendum that was on the ballot that lost by 87 votes. It was a tax exemption for corporations, and it failed. The voters said no. City Council voted on Thursday to put that back on the ballot. So that'll be on the ballot in November.
And so then it makes you say,
So this failed. The tax exemption for corporations failed. You voted to put it back. We're saying rent is too daggone high. We want to vote on doing something about it.
All right, so this is just food for thought, and I'm going to be done with the food for thought for the day, right? Is that the corporation, like it failed, they put it back in. They couldn't vote on the rent control because corporations.
Yeah.
And then now it's a possibility that the people can't vote against the corporations.
Pretty much. No, we're going to vote.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's back. Like it failed, and you get another. So,
but you get what I'm saying. So on this end, you're gonna help the corporations.
Yes,
get
second chance for the corporation.
Get back on the ballots, right? Yeah. Boom. We're saying, listen, the corporations are making it too high for us to live here, and now you got to think about if they're gonna let us make this decision.
Yeah.
So again, things that make you say,
They put the tax break on twice, but won't put rent control on once. Yeah. Let the voters decide. That's what we're asking you to do this Thursday at 1:30. And we're inviting those who are interested to come down to City Hall and let us know that you're with us. And speak up, show your support, show your love. Final thoughts.
All right. Be the change you need to be. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'm going to say that please write down 5 things that happen good for you during the day, right? If you have family members that you are beefing with for no reason whatsoever, tomorrow is not promised. A matter of fact, today, a full day is not promised.
That's true.
You just never know the time, the hour, the day, when it's going to happen. People are leaving here, and then people have regrets.
Right.
And today, if you have breath in your body and you can speak, pick up the phone call and make amends.
Yes.
And that's how I'm going to leave it today. I
unite with that totally. And so I'm going to leave that there. There's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. We want to thank y'all again for tuning in. Take these last few minutes and send us some stars during the live. We still trying to figure that part of the process out.
Yeah, but we
appreciate it nonetheless. So please, again, thank you for tuning in.
And tell all your friends that we'll be here on Friday too.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and
Friday.
And hold on, let me stop this one because I got some Isaac brothers that I don't want to hear. Not right now. But we got Sister Hughes coming up, y'all. Total Praise gonna make you lose your shoes. Shout all around the house, and we're looking forward to that. And we want to thank her for her continued service and commitment to the community. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Believe and do good. Peace.
WUJM, St. Petersburg. 9 Jams.
Ethnic right now. Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams.